Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the second episode of the PrimeTime Patriots podcast. As always, your host Jake Mott, along with me, Ryan Matson. We got a big week in the NFL, first regular season game.
Baby, I'm pumped.
Super excited. Squish the fish week, going after the Dolphins. Going to be a good time. So we're going to break down that game for you, and then we're going to run through our regular season predictions, what we think the season's going to look like at the end of the day, and then anything else we want to touch on. So let's hop right into the game. Patriots are 3-point favorites. They are playing at home. Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff. Give me some of your ideas on the game. What are you thinking?
All right. I think it's really going to be kind of like a defensive battle. I don't think the offenses are going to be as dialed in early in the season. A lot of, still new plays that are being run, new faces around. But I think it'll be a pretty, decent scoring game in terms of how high they are. I think that Tua, I think he's going to be a little sketchy to start the season off. And I think Mac might do the same, but I think he's going to fit right in after first couple drives or something. But, I got the Pats winning. So
I think I would agree with you. I think it's going to be pretty defensive. Mostly, I think Brian Flores is a great defensive coach. And both of these coaches, obviously Flores was with us a couple of years ago. They know each other very well,
exactly,
scheme-wise. So I definitely think, especially in terms of big plays, big kind of game-breaking things, I think they'll have those kind of things under wraps.
Yeah.
Big thing this week, Will Fuller for the Dolphins is out. He's serving one more game from a suspension that he received last year. And I think that's huge, especially when you look at Stephon Gilmore's on the PUP for us. So now I think Devontae Parker's definitely their number one, but it definitely makes things a lot easier when you get rid of Fuller, who's probably the consensus 2 guy down there. And the Dolphins are going to have to rely on people like Jalen Waddle, like new people that could be big for them, but they really don't know yet. They're kind of banking on something.
Yeah.
So definitely helps this Patriots secondary without Stephon Gilmore going up against a team. One of their premier receivers is out.
Yep.
And the Patriots have actually, one of the reasons I'm actually leaning the same way. I think the Patriots are going to win this first game. They've won 5 of their past 6 season openers.
I was just going to say, yeah, I had that marked down too.
Yeah. What do you think goes into their success on week 1 so much?
I think it's just game planning, honestly. I think Bill does a wicked good job doing that. And I think, even if the defense or the offense don't really, make big plays, one of them is going to do something where they end up winning. So,
absolutely. The last time the Patriots lost their first divisional matchup, too, against their first divisional team was 2014. And I think I actually wrote the same thing that you just said. Bill really does know how to scheme. He knows these teams, especially in their in their division.
He's been there for so long. So
yeah, and he knows he's better at any other coach, I think, in the league in seeing what teams have done in the offseason and adjusting accordingly, which is really tough. A lot of coaches will struggle when they see a team that has drastically reshaped their roster and they're not sure how they're going to incorporate those guys. I think Bill does as good, if not better, than anybody when it comes to that. So he really knows his those teams in the division and can break them down pretty well. Also, rookie and second-year QBs are just not it against Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
He shuts them down. They're coming to Gillette, too. I just don't see Tua doing that.
I don't see it either. I think he's going to be pretty rattled to start it off for sure. I think he's I honestly think he's gonna throw a couple picks, maybe 2. I think the defense is gonna come up big.
Absolutely. So yeah, I have them winning 27-24. So I guess I don't have them covering. I have them going even. Yeah.
All right.
I think we're gonna miss a field goal and an extra point. I think that's how you're gonna get 27.
What, they got the rookie now, right?
They do. Quinn Nordine. From Michigan. I'm a Michigan fan personally, and I've watched this guy get his job back 5 or 6 times.
He's pretty good.
He has a boot. He has an absolute cannon, and he can reliably hit 50-plus yard field goals. But his accuracy, at the same time, he's going to shank extra points.
He beat out Folk, so I mean,
he did that. That's such an interesting move for me. Especially they had guaranteed money invested in Folk too.
I mean, they still got him, right? He's
on the practice squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's not. And yeah, no way Bill Belichick is going to take 2 kickers and risk taking a spot. So very surprised with that because, I mean, they've always valued accuracy over power at that position.
I mean, I think they're trying to find that young guy like Gostowski when they brought him in.
For sure. If they can fix this guy's kinks, like I said, it's just the accuracy. His leg is a cannon, and he can hit 60-yard field goals. He can really put up big points and really make that offense that much more deadly. They don't have to drive as far down the field.
Yeah, just got to put in some work.
It's going to be interesting
in actual games.
So, we both got them beating the Dolphins this week. So we have them starting 1-0.
Yep.
We're going to run through the 17-game schedule.
Yeah, before we do that, I got the Pats winning 24-17.
24-7? I like that.
So they're over the spread.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a good bet. I'm going to put some money, despite my prediction here, I'm going to put some money on the Pats covering 2. I really think they're in way better shape to where, even though it is Mac Jones's first year, and you're going to have to try to develop that rhythm and that consistency, I think he still has looked as comfortable, if not more comfortable, than Tua does in his own offense, one that he's been in for
I've
2
heard
years.
Tua, I haven't really keeping track with the Dolphins too much, but I've heard Tua's been, like, in preseason he played pretty well. His first game, I guess he was rattled a bit, but the second one, I guess he had 2 touchdowns and almost 200 yards for, like, 12 of 16 or something, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely, and that's the thing, too, I don't want to misconstrue, he's definitely shown improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think I think he's going to see so many weird coverages that he hasn't seen. He's going to see so many zero blitzes. And what Bill Belichick does with these young guys that makes him so effective is he shows them all these different looks, all these unique NFL things. And I think as good as Tua is and as much as he has improved, I don't like a lot of the big slander towards him. I just don't think he's ready for. I think it's going to be Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Honestly,
you think so?
Yeah, I think
just against the Pats or all season long.
No, just against the Pats. Okay. I think he's going to show Bill. I think Bill's going to show him so many different looks and so many things he's not comfortable with. It's just going to overload Tua, and Tua's not a mental guy. Mm-hmm. I think he has a very powerful, strong arm. Not the most accurate, but he can move around and he does a lot of stuff with his athleticism. Yeah. As opposed to his head. I think this first week's going to be about execution, and I think Mac Jones has him.
I think so too.
In that category. Interesting too, 2 Bama guys.
I know. Up. There's a lot of similarities between the 2 teams. Dolphins and Pats.
There's quite a few. I think too, a lot of it, I know I talked about it a little bit with Will Fuller and Stephon Gilmore. I think the secondary of the Patriots versus the receiving core of the Dolphins is going to be, I just think it's going to be the deciding factor either way. Yeah. If the Dolphins receivers, because, forgive me, I'm not even sure who is the running back for the Dolphins.
Gaskins. He's actually pretty well.
Okay, okay, so good, but I just think that Patriots front 7, everybody's very confident, me included, that those guys are going to be pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. It's going to be reminiscent of the boogeymen from 2 seasons ago, Brady's last year.
And, looking at the Dolphins roster in terms of receivers, you got Devontae, he's going to be the 1. And then you're looking at Waddle, either the 2 or in the slot. Depends where they put him. And then, since, like you said, Fuller's out, they got Isaiah Ford, who used to be on the Pats, but I don't know if he's going to be playing. I mean, I don't know where he's at in terms of their roster. But they got Preston Williams, who played pretty well last year, so he'll probably be that number 2 guy. Yeah. And then Waddle in the slot.
It's going to be interesting, especially to see how J.C. Jackson will handle, presumably a lot of Devontae Parker, but definitely cornerback 1 reps.
Yeah, and honestly, to me, I think the biggest thing that the Pats need to focus on is Gesicki. I think tight end, like I said last week, QBs like tight ends, especially young QBs. They like the big targets. Tua's going to be looking for a big target, a reliable pass catcher. So
I agree. If you're the Pats, who do you put on him?
That's a good question.
Do you try to handle him with more of a zone, or do you think you could end somebody up on him?
I think, honestly, you got to man him up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know who I'd put on him, but I'm sure Bill's got something for that.
I'm not 100% sure of his cover. I have 2 names. The first name and the one I think that's the most reliable, you know what you're going to get, would be Adrian Phillips.
Okay.
He's outsized for sure, but he's comfortable playing in that area of the field. Played a shitload of backer.
It's all right.
Yeah. Played a bunch of backer last season, so he's comfortable up in that front seven area, comfortable getting his hands on bigger guys and like really trying to impede routes, things like that. So I think he's more reliable, but I think the best option, if it were able to work out, would be Kyle Duggar. Because he matches up way more physically. I'm not sure about his coverage.
I was thinking backers, but I like that.
Yeah, I like Duggar. I think Duggar's that guy. And that's, I think, a big weakness of the Patriots backers this year. They're so improved from last season, but their pass coverage is pretty crappy.
Yeah, I agree.
You have three guys, and Van Noy's your best, and he's a par zone defender at best.
Yeah, another guy who was at Miami last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, too. I feel there's too much
There's a lot
cross-pollination between this team.
I have a list of that.
Yeah, there's too much of that going on, and the Patriots are the last team in the league to lose a matchup where they have that much information.
Exactly, yeah.
And that much going on. So I don't see that working in the favor of Miami. I think the Patriots are going to get this first
agree.
one.
Oh, McCourty, he's safety in Miami.
Really? Jason McCourty?
He's not playing corner like he was the Pats.
That's interesting, too, because I always felt Jason McCourty was a tremendous slot corner.
I thought so, too.
That really, I don't know how well that translates to safety.
I think it's weird because they already got Eric Rowe. I don't know what their free safety and strong. I don't know who's playing what. You know what I mean?
I'm concerned with Jason McCourty in like jump ball situations. So
he's not a speedy guy.
Yeah, he's not. He's definitely smart. He's got a lot of football IQ. Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. So I think they might be able to take the top off.
I think so.
Yeah, I think too. You're going to see a really big difference with Mac downfield. He was actually, I'm not exactly sure the site. I'm pretty sure it was Pro Football Focus as well. On throws 20 yards down the field in the preseason, Mac Jones was amazing. Like really, really great. Like top 5 in the league, if I'm correct. And that's with the drop from Wilkerson. That's with the perfect ball in N'Keal Harry the second week of the preseason that he drops right in the basket. And like that's the biggest difference. I think we're going to see Mac with these ones. These guys are going to make these plays for him.
Yeah.
And they're going to be going up against other ones, sure. But that ball to Wilkerson, that ball to Harry, balls like that, those are perfect balls. And if a guy has even half a step as opposed to one step, they're going to catch that ball. Yeah. I just like Aguilar, maybe not Aguilar. He's got a little bit of a drop issue. But,
he does.
But Bourne, Jonnu, Hunter Henry, those guys are coming down with tough contested catches.
Yeah.
And Mac's shown all preseason, that he can get it where it's going to be. So.
Yep.
All right, I think we could wrap up the game summary segment. We're going to hop over to predicting this regular season. So actually, I was going to run through them all and do that, but I think that'd be a little listy. So we're just going to say we both got them going 11-6.
Yep.
And there are a few games that we disagree on. The first game, we both think they're going to start 3-0.
Yep.
They got Miami at the Jets, and then New Orleans coming to New England.
Yeah.
And then we both got them taking their first L at Tampa Bay, at Gillette against Tampa Bay. Yeah. Why so? Why do you think?
Too much power. I think, Brady's going to dice them up defensively. Mm-hmm. I just don't see the offense of Tampa Bay, or the offense of the Pats competing with the offense of Tampa Bay. I just don't think they're ready for that yet. Especially that early in the year. That's a tough task.
I think we both can agree. I don't know how you couldn't. If they do win that game, the narrative of this whole season is going to be.
I mean, I hope they win, obviously. But...
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, always. But that would be monumental. People would start losing their mind. At that point, they'd be 4-0. And then they're going into Houston, who has Tyrod Taylor
get that win.
Playing quarterback. They lost their quarterback. So, and all right, let's move on.
So there was something I saw on Sports Not, the website. They got the Bucks beating them 27-6.
Yeah, that's just not.
I was looking at that. I was like,
all right? So
I can see a lot of offensive power. I think you remember Green Bay at Bucks last year.
Yes. Yep.
You know how
That
the
NFC
Green Bay was
championship?
up. No,
Yeah.
in
Oh,
the
regular
season.
Okay, yeah.
Green Bay was blowing them out, and then the Bucks climbed back.
Mm-hmm.
I got it kind of similar to that. You know, I think the Pats are gonna climb back, but I think Tampa Bay is gonna come out to an early start. The Pats are a second half team.
Yeah.
Like historically, they're a very second half team.
There's a very important reason why they were a second half team for that long.
True, but
and he's on the other
I understand
side.
that. I understand that. I just think the Pats are gonna.
No, I think it's still gonna be a 10-point game, give or take. I just think
there's gonna be a point in the game where it's gonna be stretched out. But I think the Pats are gonna climb back. It's gonna be.
I don't think anybody's
within 15 points.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't think anybody's blowing each other out in that game. I think it's going to be a good competitive game, but I do think Tampa Bay is just a little too much, and especially it's chemistry at that point. It is the same roster, and I give a lot of crap to that because that does mean every team knows exactly what to expect from you. They know your personnel, things like that, but it does mean you're more in tune and in click with your guys. So I think Tampa Bay will just be at a good place at that point in the season. They're probably going to start 3-0 too. They don't have a very hard schedule. So I think they'll be rolling, and I think it'll just be a little much. At Houston, we both got them winning. And then this is the first time we disagree. Week 6, that's the first time we're disagreeing. I got Dallas beating the Patriots in Gillette. You have the Patriots winning that game.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think Dallas defensively, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Pats offense because I think at this point in the season, what is that, week
6? Week 6, yeah.
I think the offense is going to get rolling at that point, and I think Mac's going to be, dicing up the defense. And, offensively for Dallas, it's going to be a tough task for the Pats defense. They got 3 stud receivers. People forget about Michael Gallup, but they got CD and then they got Amari Cooper, which that's what's going to be tough. But I still think the offense of the Pats are going to be able to overcome that.
Yeah, I like that take, but that is, you touched on it. I think that's why Dallas will ultimately win this. This is the last game that Stephon Gilmore will be out on PUP. So you got a little bit of a banged-up Patriots secondary.
True.
And I really think last year, before Dak got hurt, this team really showed the ability to move the ball passing.
Yeah,
still got Ezekiel Elliott, still got a filthy offensive line.
To me, I think Dallas is more of a pass team than a run team. That's a tough take because they got one of the top 5 running backs in the league.
Yeah, but no, you could certainly make that argument.
Compared to last year, and I know Dak was hurt, but even when he was in, I thought they were a better pass team than the run team. Zeke had an off year last year.
Yeah.
And the year before, he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. He was still a top 10 running back.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think those 3 receivers you mentioned are just, I think it's going to be a little too much. Amari, CD, and Michael Gallup.
For sure.
I think so too. I mean, granted, it is in Gillette. Anything can happen. I think it's going to be a close game regardless, but then let's move on here. We got the Jets. We'll skip that. We know the answer there. San Diego Chargers. I got them winning at San Diego. You got them losing.
I do. I think Herbert is going to have an insane year this year. I really do. I really like him. He's a very good quarterback, in my eyes anyway.
The kid can play very well. It comes down, and I agree with you that he's going to have a pretty great year. I cannot pick a first or second year guy, no matter what their name is, against Bill Belichick. We even got to look at Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship leading the game.
Yeah.
Even he couldn't,
I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
And that's the only reason. I'd agree with you. This is one of the best young quarterbacks that the Patriots have faced. Obviously, they got to play Mahomes. But, the Patriots, every time they see a young guy like this, regardless of how talented or how much they push the ball down the field, this kid's got a cannon. And I totally agree with you.
Yeah, he's got a bomb.
But I just feel like he's reliant more so than some certain quarterbacks on his physical talents and pushing the ball downfield. I think, similar to how I said week 1 with Tua, I think they're just going to overload Herbert with too many looks, too many things like 0 blitzes, stuff he's not ready for. So
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Then we got Carolina. At Carolina, we're both saying a win there. And then this is the first loss we agree on. We agreed on Tampa Bay, my fault. But Cleveland coming to Gillette, beating us. For me, it's been the Patriots have played the Browns very well. Or not flip that, my bad. The Browns have played the Patriots very well the past few times that they've played them. Remember that game with Nick Chubb? Had a great game, but put the ball on the ground once or twice. So it's been little things kicking themselves in the foot. And I just think the paths are finally crossing where Cleveland's made enough improvements. They're a pretty good football team. They got some pretty good chemistry.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be – something's got to give. Patriots have been playing them very well the past few seasons, but something's got to give here. I think the Browns are going to steal one in Gillette.
I think so too.
Then Atlanta, we got them winning. Tennessee, I have them losing to Tennessee at Gillette.
I got them winning.
I think it's just something about Mike Vrabel. I think the only person in the NFL that can legitimately get under Bill Belichick's skin, and is trying to, because I don't think Brady's trying to. Brady definitely does, but he does so passively, just by winning games. I think Mike Vrabel tries to and gets under Bill Belichick's skin.
I mean, yeah, it works. Like a playoff game, Brady threw the pick six and see you later, TV.
Yeah, you're right. And I agree with you. I'd agree with your point in the sense that I think the Patriots have beefed up their front seven.
Yeah, dude, I love what they did with the
to an nth degree. So they're really in good shape to try to combat Henry, but we got to remember, too, we got Julio Jones over there now. We got A.J. Brown, who should be in a Patriots uniform. Sorry, N'Keal Harry, but that's just how it is. I don't know. It's going to be a good game, too, for sure, but I think Mike Vrabel is just going to – he's going to have Bill's number.
Yeah, okay. I don't see that happening. I don't know. I think that's the game where everyone's going to mark it up as, it's going to be a good game, but a lot of people are going to see it as a loss. I just think something that the defense – I feel like they're going to stop Henry, and I think that's going to be the key point in that game. I think Henry's not going to get over 100 yards. He might have a touchdown, but I think they're going to be able to hold him under 100.
Yeah, be interesting. That's a big game for Ryan Tannehill. He's going to really have to prove himself.
And for me, I mean, Tannehill, he's improved tremendously over the last couple of years. I think he's going to have sort of an off year this year. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
I think he's just destined to be the 16th best quarterback in the league at all times.
The middle guy?
Yes, at all times. He never wows you, but he never does anything where you're like, how could you?
Yeah.
He makes reasonable decisions. Sometimes he just doesn't have what it takes.
Yeah.
But he's also reliable as they come.
They really don't have a tight end this year anymore.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
And
exactly.
They were really relying on him last year.
For sure. Especially, they relied... Because you could bring Jonnu into these big packages, and it didn't look like anything was going on with Derrick Henry, and then you can run some great play action. At Buffalo, before the bye, we both got them taking an L.
Yep.
I have them, spoiler alert, flipping with Buffalo. And let's just take care of this now. You have them losing both times to Buffalo.
Yeah.
So why both times to Buffalo?
I think it's the offense of Buffalo.
Really?
I really think Josh Allen is... I think he's probably the second best quarterback in the league. I really do. Last year was a huge turning point for him. He came out and he performed extremely well. I thought he honestly was going to get MVP, but Rodgers definitely deserved it. But
the only reason I would say to you that he's not is because I think we're not appreciating a guy who is easy to forget about right now because he's not playing. I think Deshaun Watson is probably better.
Really?
In my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather have... I mean, yeah, it's close. And at first I was like second, but no, you really are right. Josh Allen is special. I think he's going to plateau from last year, though. I don't see him having a better season. Because the big thing with him was he came into his first year, there was really not much going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought, Buffalo might have to move on from this guy at some point. Maybe he'll be a middle-of-the-road guy. Mm-hmm. Nobody saw this coming. And every year it's been consistent, exponential growth. I think that's going to stop this next season. I think he's going to level out. Maybe even regress a bit numbers-wise. I don't think his play will look worse. but teams will figure him out a little bit. Yeah. So
I think he's going to get better. I think he's going to get better this year.
Really?
I think he might win MVP this year.
Ooh. Yeah. He has a shot. I mean, if Buffalo is a very successful team and they end up going
I don't know
14.
Buffalo's schedule, but I don't see him losing any more than 3 or 4 games.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of the same NFC teams. They're playing the same conference. So.
And it really sucks because, well, at least my take on it, that leaves the Pats at 3-3 on the division.
Oh, we're going to touch on that at the end, yeah, for sure. But I know I got them winning both. Or not both. I got them splitting with Buffalo.
Yep.
I think they're going to lose in Buffalo, especially now that you got Bills Mafia rocking back in action. Might get another thing thrown on the field like we did one of the past few seasons we've been out there. But I think at home, it's just so hard to beat Belichick twice in a year.
It is.
I don't know the last time. Did they get swept by the Bills last season?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know the last time where they weren't 7-9 and no offense, had a competent quarterback that they lost to a team twice in the season. It's so hard to beat anybody twice in the NFL. I don't think Bill Belichick's going to let, especially they're coming here for the second game. I think it's just advantage Patriots at that point.
So Bills last year, first game in November was 21-24.
Okay.
And reasonable. But then the next game was when
Diggs
had a break.
That was the Cam fumble game.
38-9.
Yep. The first one was the Cam fumble.
I don't know if I want like a close game blowout, but I think it's going to be something similar to that this year.
All right. And then I have another loss here coming right out of the bye. Indianapolis, I think Indy's just... This is a bubble one for me. If Carson Wentz is out by this point...
out, okay.
Yeah. If Carson Wentz is out by this point, I think the Patriots can win this game. If Carson Wentz is in, and even if he's not particularly hot, I just think the Colts are really well positioned. They got an amazing offensive line. Jonathan Taylor's going to run for 1,300 yards at least this year.
I like Jonathan Taylor a lot.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
I just think... And, again, it comes back to that Patriots front seven. I think they'll play him pretty well. So,
To me, I don't even think it's Indy's offense. I think it's their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense was studs last year.
Yes, exactly. What's the Leonard? Darius Leonard?
Darius Leonard, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Filthy middle linebacker. Did he win Rookie of the Year? Last year, Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I don't remember.
All right, but either way, he's absolute beast. Young guy, going to be around for a while. And, yeah, he's going to wreak some havoc that game. This is the one that I would consider flipping. I'm most unsure about this loss, but either way, loss is a loss. We already talked about Buffalo. Jacksonville, Week 17.
Yep.
I got a dub there. You got a dub there as well. And then Week 18 at Miami. I got a win. You got a loss.
I do. I think they're going to split. I think by then, Tua's going to be, catching some heat at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll be a close game, but Miami always plays as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just going to be one of those years where they just split them.
So do you think the Bills... I think we both would agree Bills are going to be the first.
I got Bills, Pats, Dolphins.
Okay. I was going to see if you had the Dolphins ahead of the Pats.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
That's the thing that sucks is the 3-3 in the division. Yeah,
well, let's talk about that now. So we both got them at 11-6, but you got them 3-3 in the division. I got them 5-1. Yeah. I think they're sweeping. We both agree the Jets are getting robbed.
They better. They better.
I think Zach Wilson is going to be horrendous.
Do you?
Horrendous, yeah. Nobody's set up to win on that team. The management is
Sam
horrendous.
Darnold. I mean, jeez.
I'm a big Sam Darnold guy. I think he's going to have a great year.
In Carolina, yeah.
And he's working with good receivers and the most versatile back ever. So
definitely.
I think that's going to be good
for
Sam.
Are you thinking Wilson's just not fit for the Jets or not fit in the NFL?
Not fit for Jets, and also not fit. I think his strengths don't work for the NFL. I still think he can be a competent, decent quarterback.
Yeah.
But he definitely for example, Josh Allen, who we were just talking about, landed in a perfect situation.
He did, yeah.
Great defense, especially when he was a rookie, like top of the league defense.
Mm-hmm. And
Amazing coach.
And then they brought
coach.
in Diggs.
Yeah. Then they bring in Diggs. They bring in all these people. Zach
John
Moss
Brown.
to be a good running back for him.
Is John Brown? I think he's gone now. But
yeah,
they had him.
But they had him. Exactly. And he was in a real perfect situation, and everybody agreed he was a guy who needed it.
Yeah.
I think Zach Wilson's that guy too.
Yeah.
He has certain physical traits where he could be a really good, really special quarterback,
yeah.
but I
to
don't
me,
think in New York.
When he got drafted, I really didn't like where he went.
Yeah.
And I still don't love him, like, as a player, but I don't know. I feel like over the preseason, he's really stepped up. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's going to be as bad as I initially thought, but I don't think he's going to be, like, that top-tier QB right after Lawrence type. And I don't even know if Lawrence is going to be that good.
Yeah, he's another guy, too, though. His situation is as bad as could possibly imagine.
I mean, they got some receivers over there, though.
Yeah, and they did just pick up – they picked up his receiver from college.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they did.
T.
Higgins.
Oh, no, they didn't. Jamar Chase for Burrow.
Oh, that's Burrow.
That's what you're thinking of.
Yeah. Yes, okay, never mind.
They got ETN, though.
Okay, yes.
Back.
Oh, okay, that's right. And ETN's out for the season.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Bottom of his foot broke off.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's done.
I didn't see that.
But yeah, all right, we're getting a little sidetracked.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to touch on? I have one thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of random. Been looking at a lot of fantasy stuff. Had a few drafts this week. So one player I got in one of my drafts was Damien Harris. They are, I think, underrating this guy like nothing I've ever seen.
Are you talking ESPN or are you talking the whole
ESPN.
fantasy?
I would say fantasy, everything. Like the media, everything. Damien Harris, I think they got him going for 860 and like 6 touchdowns.
Really?
And I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, in our draft, he fell. He was down there.
Far, and I scooped
was surprised,
him up.
Yeah.
This is the thing. It's 3 things when it comes to Damien Harris. Cam Newton's gone. He rushed for 13 touchdowns last year, most of them inside the 10. Half of those, at least a quarter of them, or a third.
You think are going to?
Are going to Harris. Absolutely, because the only person taking those carries away is Stevenson, who do you really want to put in a rookie when he's... I don't even know if he is better than Harris at power situations yet. And you're going to put him in there just to run the ball in after you've had a big drive?
Yeah.
I don't see it. And then the second thing is the line. You beefed up your line.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing, the most important thing, is you shipped out the consensus second-best runner, Sonny Michel. There's so many more carries now, barring injury. I don't know how you're saying that Damien Harris doesn't rush for at least 1,000 yards. It's 60 a game.
Yeah.
At least 1,000 yards and at least 8 touchdowns.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but then I realized that James White is pretty high up on the fantasy score too, projected anyway.
That's true.
And that's because he's going to be the receiving back, obviously. Mm-hmm. But Harris probably won't get a lot of those touches catching, but like you said, he should have 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, and it's not... With a caveat, of course, because it's not what it used to be.
There's no...
Yeah, it's 17 games now. It's been deteriorating for years.
And they're not going to have QB running.
Yeah.
They're not going to have any special QB draws.
Exactly. No running from the quarterback at all. So not only Cam Newton's touchdowns need to be divvied up around the team, all of his rushing yards need to be divvied up too. Exactly. Yeah,
it's going to be given to someone, obviously.
And I think... 90% of the time, Damien Harris can catch the ball out of the backfield too.
He can.
Not as good as...
I don't think he's going to be seeing a lot of it, but he definitely will get some touches.
Yeah, he's more versatile than, for example, Sony, who we just let go. Sony, it was basically, all right, they're looking to run the football and run play action. You can legitimately throw screens and anything, really. You can have...
Little dump-offs or whatever.
Yeah, to Damien Harris. So I think he's just a guy who's been flying under the radar for the Pats. I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah. Another guy, and I don't know how I feel about it, but Aguilar was low on the fantasy charts too.
Mm-hmm. And he had
I think he's only projected 157 points.
Really? And he had a great, or not great, he had a great
ending to the
offseason for sure.
Okay.
I was going to say preseason, but in the games, it was less so. I believe he missed 2 or 1.
Last year?
Yeah, no, of our preseason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But practice-wise, he was a name that you kept hearing.
Yeah.
Had a lot of great performances, and really... I think it comes down to, with him, is his biggest role is going to be that of a decoy.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be every once in a while. I think Mac's gonna be able to hit him on a deep route, get him on a nice look, nice matchup. But I think for the most part, he's gonna keep defenses honest and spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, the whole Pats receiving core and offensive guys in fantasy were so low, and I wonder if that's based off what they did last year, which is only kind of what I'm thinking because Jonnu was even low, in terms of fantasy points.
Yeah, and I think he has.
He was
around
150, I think, projected, and then Jacoby was another sleeper, I thought too.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be.
Yes, you're right. I think
probably
he's
gonna be that 2 guy, right?
He's gonna outcatch either Bourne or Aguilar.
Yeah,
for sure, in my opinion.
And I didn't even see Bourne get taken in any of my leagues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bourne.
I don't even think I saw him on the chart. I didn't even look for him.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. A lot of people in the Patriots. Yeah. I think it speaks to how diverse we've been in our recent seasons with how we spread the ball out.
I think that's definitely part of it.
We've never been a team to have a workhorse, even when we had Brady for 20 years.
Yeah.
Not many guys besides maybe Gronk, people like that, Edelman, were high volume guys you had to look out for every week. It's always been this guy this week, this guy that week, Jonas Gray rushing for 4 touchdowns, and he's off the team.
Yeah.
And that's just been the Patriot way. It's so hard to predict who is going to be the workhorse, if there even is going to be a workhorse.
Yeah, and I think that's a big key to their success, too, over the years. Just because scheme-wise for defenses, you don't know what the hell's coming at you.
Absolutely. And Mac's that distributor. He really is going to be able to, I think, spread it around, keep them diverse. But, all right, I think we're running pretty long, especially compared to last week, so I think we could wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us, listening this week, this long episode. We're both super pumped for the first game of the season. I know you guys are, too.
We got Thursday night game. This is probably going to come out after, but...
We got the Bucs.
You want predictions? Or
Bucs Cowboys. I think...
It's going to be a good game, I think.
I think there's too many emotions going on for Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is going to win.
I agree.
I think it is going to be... Nope, I think the emotions are too... I think they're going to win by a sizable margin. Really? I think by plus 10.
And I got Dak and Amari in fantasy, so I'm really hoping they put up some points. I think it's going to be an offensive shootout. We're looking 30s, high 30s.
Yeah.
Each team, I think.
If I had to put a number on it, I would say 38.
I was thinking that.
38-27.
That's fair.
That's what I would guess.
I can see that.
I'd go Tampa.
Yeah, in the 30s. I don't know. I don't have a specific score, but
all right.
It's going to be a good game.
Super excited. Football's back. Ready to get into it. Know you guys are too. Thanks so much again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Go Pats.